Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thidoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
He is George Michael. I'm Andrew Ridgely. I have no problem saying that. If you got that reference, you're as old as I am. Shark over there, UL Washington, with the coffee stir in his mouth. Bobby, it is Morning Juice. How are you today, my friend, on this Monday?
Oh, it's good to hear from you, Thidoff. Good to see your face. Good to be in here.
I don't know if anyone's ever said good to see your face to me.
Well,
honestly, like
maybe I shouldn't then.
No, it's okay. I appreciate it. I just think you're the first person to say that to me ever. And I appreciate that, like in my lifetime. But that's a whole other issue for my therapist. Shark, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm great, Tito. What a fantastic weekend. Just spent 3 days at the pool and all that beautiful sunshine.
You were at the pool all weekend?
No.
It was. I guess you guys got a lot of rain up here. We didn't get much rain Saturday.
How was your stuff out there on the water with the...
It was nice on Saturday down south. I guess you got a lot of rain. We drove back on Sunday. I saw pools of water sitting on 71, which I didn't realize was the case. Yesterday afternoon was nice.
Charlotte had a swim
wasn't
meet.
Sunny. It was nice.
It was sunny.
Maybe an hour.
Charlotte was outdoor at Gahanna in a swim meet Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 2 events each day.
Yeah.
I was wondering, obviously what we talked about on Friday, where I learned that lightning and thunder both happen at the same. You can't have it. Anyway, that's a whole other story. We are 52 days until the Pro Football Hall of Fame game. We are 75 days until the first 4 college football games. 82 days until Ohio State, Texas. 87 days until the start of the NFL. And 3 weeks for you? Shark, right? How many weeks for you? How many days?
3 weeks
right?
From tomorrow, yeah. What is that, 22 days?
Yeah, there you go.
Bobby, I sent Shark a text. He never responded, which is okay. I just said I'm not ready for you to go.
I figured you were in a drunken stupor or something to text me so randomly like that.
That's
couldn't
all it
respond.
was, just I'm not ready for you to go.
I'm not ready for you to go.
That was the text.
Bobby, I thought it was heartfelt. It was sentimental. It was in the moment. I just had a moment where I was like, you know what? I'm not ready for Shark to go.
Were you drunk?
No. This weight loss is so much tied to diet and not drinking. This weight loss I've had.
Yeah, if you just don't eat.
Look, I don't drink. I don't drink, so I don't eat late night. There's no
that's a discipline
Stouffer's
thing.
French bread pizzas at 11 o'clock at night. There's none of that anymore.
Well, that's those two things don't have to go together.
I will still send inappropriate texts at night. I don't think that was a Shark. I sent it to them.
Was there a video attached?
No,
to
no video. No video.
I mean, all it said was not ready for you to leave.
Right.
That was 7:31 p.m. on Friday. I didn't even know what to say. How about
just thank you?
Okay.
No, it's too late now.
No, I'll send it right now.
No, don't do it now. Reds beat the D-backs 4-2. D-backs.
Yeah.
4-2 yesterday. Guardians beat the Astros 4-2. Shark, you did send me a text, you SOB. The Reds are in Cleveland tonight.
Yes.
Reds have got a 3-0 lead. They can't.
One more win, they get the Ohio Cup for the first time in 11 years.
They can get it, yes. It's a big day.
Big day.
Didn't wear the Reds hat out of respect for you.
Oh, I'm sure you'll wear it tomorrow when Wade Miley beats the Guards tonight. That's all right. He threw a no-hitter against the Guards.
Yes.
2021?
Whatever it was, years ago. OKC beats Indiana 123-107. Game 3's Wednesday at Indiana. They are tied 1-1. Edmonton, Florida tonight, 8 o'clock. That series tied 1-1. We'll see what happens there. I knew OKC would win. I didn't think they would. It was like a big spread. It was like 10.5 or 11.5 at tip-off.
Yes. And I parlayed that with the under, which was 228.5.
Oh.
I went money line and under.
Oh. Under did not hit.
230.
Yeah.
Indiana scored
Isn't that
late.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable how good Vegas is. But I only had $5 on it. So
I think it was worth
You
it.
gamble more in retirement or less, you think?
Anymore, I gamble like once a month.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't even think about it.
All the time?
Now, I put money on the race Saturday on the Belmont.
Yeah. Did you hit that?
I didn't.
You had journalism.
I took the exacted journalism and sovereignty, and they finished the other way around.
You didn't box it?
I didn't.
Oh.
I felt so confident that journalism was going to win.
Right.
And then I put money on Rodriguez
Okay.
to win, place, or show. led the whole race
Then,
and finished fourth.
Bobby, you think Shark will go into a Brent Musburger type retirement? There's two retirements. There's Musburger, there's Tim May. Now, Tim May still retired, does podcasts, shows up to press conferences, asks a question at the very end because Ryan Day always lets him ask a question. That's Tim May's retirement. Will Shark do what Musburger retired, and then now he's like some huge gambling guy with podcasts and lives out in Vegas and all of those things.
What's the difference?
Well, I'm saying like one is here local, one is gambling in Vegas. Which one do you think Shark is more likely to do?
I don't think he's going to move.
He might not do either one of them. I'm saying if you had to guess, though, you think Shark is more likely to show up at Ohio State press conferences or do a podcast on gambling?
I don't think he'll do either one of them. I could see him maybe doing something and staying involved a little bit, but I don't think he's going to move, at least as per our conversations. So I don't know why he would move out to Vegas to do a podcast on gambling. That doesn't really seem like his area of interest.
My wife doesn't really like Vegas that much.
That's hard to believe.
She likes to stay at the Alara.
The Alara is perfect. No, I'm telling you.
She loves that hotel, but
Yes.
yeah, she's not into that whole scene. She's been there enough that she says, I don't need to ever go there again.
Big show lined up today. Bill Bender's going to join us in the next segment. Right now, though, Bobby makes you smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Bobby, you've had a whole weekend to think about how to make me smarter. Lightning cannot happen without thunder. What else you got for me?
And even though Stevie Nicks told us thunder only happens when it's raining, you don't need rain for thunder.
Need rain for
just
thunder.
lightning.
Yes.
Got that?
I've got it. Look, I'm telling you. I can't look. Blame it on the rain is what Millie Vanilli told me, but go ahead. Or somebody sang it, but they lip-synced it. But yes.
They're the ones you thought sang it.
Yes, they did.
This date, Monday, June 9th, 160th day of the year, 205 days remaining. And Shark, it's going to be a beautiful one for you about 20 days from now. 22 days. You flip that thing over and more sands in the bottom than in the top. This date, 1946, Joe Louis KOs Billy Conn in 8 rounds to win the heavyweight boxing title. This date, 1962, Tony Bennett debuts his concert in Carnegie Hall. 1968, Lyndon B. Johnson calls for a day of mourning following the RFK assassination and subsequent death, passing. 1970. My goodness, I wish my handwriting is getting so. Oh, Princeton. Oh, how about this? Princeton awards Bob Dylan an honorary doctorate of music. Wow. My mom always says she could never understand him.
Yeah, EV.
But yeah.
Yeah.
He was able to get a doctorate that off.
That's fine. How I feel. I never got it.
Is that you drunk as Bob Dylan?
No, I'm just saying
or?
you don't think that's Bob Dylan? Do you have a better Bob Dylan than me?
No, I'm not, but I've never tried. I'm not going to put it out there because I don't think it's very good.
You don't think my Shark was that bad?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
Thank you. It was really good. Thank you, Shark.
Discretion's sometimes the better part of valor.
Okay, that's fine.
This day, 1973, the third and final leg of the Triple Crown was run, and Secretariat winning that leg up at Belmont.
They're on the backstretch. Secretariat's on the inside. By ahead. Sham is on the outside. The lead is increasing. Secretariat holding on to a large lead. Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by 12. Secretariat by 14 lengths on the turn. Secretariat leads his field by 18 lengths. They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He is going to be the Triple Crown winner. He hits the finish 25 lengths in front. Secretariat has accomplished the unbelievable task of breaking the mile-and-a-half record by 2 3/5 seconds. That is a record that may stand forever.
Which no records stand forever, even Wayne Gretzky's scoring record.
Right.
And as we've gone back, Shark, I think last year we went back and looked at all of the timing. Like, horses haven't gotten any faster.
No, they've been running pretty much the same pace for about 100 years.
Which doesn't make any sense at all.
The whole Belmont thing this year and also last year, it's a shorter track.
Yeah, because they're running at Saratoga.
Right, they're running somewhere else. Yeah, they're like redoing Belmont somehow.
Well, there's been times where even like the Derby was different lengths and things like that, but we went back and did this deep dive on it, and I mean, there have been no subsequent trends for time reduction with the horses, which if you look over the same period of time with human beings, pick your sport,
right?
Whether it's swimming, track, whatever it is, something that's completely objective, no subjectivity to the timing, and human beings have gotten significantly faster.
You got a theory?
And we've got, I don't know why, we've got these horses, Baffert has been juicing them up for years, and we still can't get them any faster. I don't understand.
I just wonder about that, like with the 100, the 50, for humans, and like even the Roger Bannister when he broke the 4-minute mile, how huge that was. And I don't have a pinpoint reason why, other than just maybe
horses are
diet.
lazy.
Well, yeah, horse. There we
diet,
go.
You're telling me?
No, I'm telling with humans. I think diet helps out with humans.
Well, you don't think that we've learned the same thing with animals?
Horses? I would think we would have. Maybe it doesn't affect them that way, though, Bob.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That might be the first logical.
No. I've made other ones. The first one today.
That diet doesn't impact horses as much as it does humans.
Right.
But we've learned even more about training. They've been able to all the measuring of all of the vitals and everything. They do the same thing with horses.
Yeah.
I mean, those horses are worth millions of dollars. You're telling me that they're not using all the bounds of science that they have, just like they are for humans?
Hey, put me out to stud anytime you want to, Bobby.
But think about this. Track and field and swimming records are broken basically every month. Every month.
Yep.
When Mark Spitz set those won the 7 gold medals and set 7 world records, those were all gone like a year later. It's just amazing. Same thing happens in track. Secretariat now, 73, 52 years. He still holds the record at the Belmont.
It's amazing.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
Like, I don't know how that's real. That we haven't been able to get horses. I mean, let's put them on more steroids and see if it's make it legal and see if we can get them faster. Like, you're telling me that horses, the equine division, has peaked as a species far sooner physically than Homo sapiens? I can't believe that.
If there was a hack next to you, he would say yay or nay on that. But he's not going to do it.
That's good. What kind of food do horses
That's
eat?
what we do. The sheep taste not bad. Go ahead.
This day, 1978, Rolling Stones release "Miss You."
I've been holding that so long. I've been sleeping all alone. Lord, I miss you.
What's the matter with you, boy?
Yeah,
it's a pretty good. That's an underrated song.
Love that song.
Was that on the album with the cover with all the faces on it? Is that what it was? Shark. Do you remember the album it was on?
I don't know. It was 78.
No, don't do
No,
this.
I just don't. I don't
think
remember.
That's fine. This day, 1984, Donald Duck celebrates his 50th birthday.
Wait, what year?
84.
Turned
Okay,
50.
so
34.
34.
Yeah, so
Gosh,
it'd be
we're
90.
coming up on
90.
The voice of Donald Duck. For how long, Mr. Nash?
Well, ever since he started, 1934 was his first picture.
And how did you get to be the voice of Donald Duck?
One time I was on a radio program, and Walt heard me that night. He's telling his men that fellow sounds like a talking duck. Let's get in touch with him. There was never a duck until that happened. The voice came first.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad it happened, too. Because I was going that way.
That's a pretty good Donald.
Underrated.
You got a Donald Duck?
Underrated. I would say Donald Duck or Fudd. If I give you one, which one?
I'd take Donald Duck.
You take Duck over Fudd. Shark?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he wears a shirt, no pants. It's a good look.
By the way, that's impressive that they were able to pull that off. Goofy walks on 2 legs. Pluto doesn't.
Yeah.
They're both dogs.
All good stuff. This date, 1993. What's love got to do with it? The Tino Turner. ...2007, Umbrella by Rihanna hits number 1.
You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella.
Hey,
Canadian. A.
She's not
really?
Canadian.
She's from Barbados.
Yes, which is Texas. No?
Nope.
Barbados is actually closer to South America than North America.
Texas is South America.
Well, I don't know about that.
Mexico used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mexico.
It was its own. It was also the Republic of Texas. It's the Six Flags over Texas, Shark. Some birthdays today. Born on this date, 1915. Jim McDonald, the quarterback, halfback for Ohio State, All-American. Also played hoops. Ohio State Hall of Fame in 1986. He passed away in 1997. Dick Vitale, turning 86 years young.
Bridges for three. Yes! The big star delivers. Slam jam bam.
Here's Shaquille, the battery Jackson. He'll take it all the way.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's a 7-footer. Are you serious?
Stackhouse.
America, are you serious? That is a super. Look at him strut. Look at him dancing. Jerry Stackhouse. He's incredible. He's awesome. He's ramming, he's jamming, and he's slamming. There he goes. Ram, jam, slam. Bam. Can you believe this? I want to stay here all night. I want to stay all night. I don't want to leave with these cameras crazy.
Oh my gosh! I hope he gets well from cancer, but I can't listen to him on calls anymore.
I was going to ask you that. Is it in his peak? Yes, it was okay.
No, I've never really liked him.
You never liked him as a.
I like him as a guy. I think he does a good.
It didn't grow on you as he got older. As you got older, it didn't. Okay.
It became more and more annoying as he got older. This date, 1963. My man, Mr. Johnny Depp, was born, turning 62 years old.
You know, there were a lot of great clips from movies, but
did you get
nothing better than the trial?
Okay,
with Amber Heard.
There was a couple of things that just were in my feed this week, maybe because of his birthday.
You were drinking pretty heavily.
Oh, this is the best.
Were you there?
It's my question to you, sir.
No, I wasn't drinking. What you define as heavily, sir?
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint? I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
This was a document that you signed as part of your divorce proceedings, correct?
That's my signature indeed, yes.
Okay. Mr. Depp, that is your signature on the right, correct?
Yes, it is.
Dated August 15th, 2016, right?
That's what it says, yes.
This is a document you signed, right?
For the third time, that is my signature, yes. I'm so pathetic when it comes to knowing what movies I've done. I'm sorry. I just, I don't watch them. I feel better not watching them. What was the question again?
Oh, it's so good. A mega pint.
Yeah.
I thought it necessary. The thing is, a pint is a unit of measure. So there's no such thing as a mega pint.
Yeah, I know. It's a
You're
mega
gonna say
hour.
a large glass, oversized glass, something that has more subjectivity to it, even though a pour of wine is supposed to be 6 ounces, 9's a large one. But to say a mega pint is saying like a heavy pound.
110%.
Like it just doesn't.
Right? That's what it is.
It doesn't make any sense. But he was unbelievable in that trial. Like I wish that trial was a movie. I feel like he was in character. It was so good. It was so good. For the third
I'm trying
time.
to think now. I don't think I've ever seen a Johnny Depp movie.
You have.
I haven't. I swear. I don't think I have. Name a movie I would have seen.
Did you ever see Pirates of the Caribbean?
Nope. None of those.
Did you ever see Chocolat?
Nope. I never saw the Gilbert Grape one. Edward Scissorhands. Never saw those either.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Do you live in the basement?
Yeah, I do. But that's where I slept last night. But I'm just telling you, I don't think I've ever seen a Johnny Depp movie.
We're going to have to get into that because there's no way that's possible.
I think it's true. Unless he was in JFK in like a brief appearance or Cannonball. He wasn't Cannonball Run. But unless he wasn't like one of these kind of odd, like all of a sudden, much like he was Stormtrooper 4 in this new Star Wars or whatever that they just never talked about. But no, I don't think I've ever seen a Johnny Depp movie, which is sad.
I don't know if it's sad. It's ludicrous.
Don't say it 3 times.
You would just think randomly you would be flipping channels and see a Johnny Depp movie.
My sister loved the Gilbert Grape thing. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? She loved that.
You never saw that?
I never saw that one. What's that?
You ever seen Blow?
You ever seen? No. God.
Oh my gosh, you're missing out.
He's a good actor, though. I know he's a popular actor. I know the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff does very well. And they've had, I don't know how many movies they've had. Do you know how many they had? Like 5?
Oh, yeah.
6?
Well, he's come back. They relaunched a series for him. They tried to take it away from him after that Amber Heard debacle. When they tried to like pin on him being a bad dude when she's taking dumps on the bed. I mean, which is amazing.
Oh, wait. That trial was just unbelievable.
Nightmare on Elm Street. He was in the first one.
I don't know.
Somebody said, Jake in the chat says he was in Nightmare on Elm Street. If he was in the first one, then I did see the movie. I don't remember Johnny Depp, though. But I'm not a Nightmare on Elm Street guy. I saw like the first one. Maybe I saw the second one, too. I'm not sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I digress.
His catalog is so large. Yeah, we'll circle back to that. There's a lot there.
It's okay.
Teddy Bruschi turning at 52 today.
Tom was just don't turn the ball over, give it to Kevin Falk, give it a little check down, and, just once in a while break your tendencies, throw it deep and all that stuff. Let the defense, running game, and special teams do what they do. To see from that all the way to that Carolina second half where he's making throws left and right because we couldn't stop Carolina. We were gassed. Delhomme had us figured out. And Tom Brady just ended up picking us up. So that's when you start to see like, all right, he's ready to just take over the team and become MVP type of player, that type of player, all the way to 2007 when he's throwing, I think, 50 touchdown passes, and it's just absurd.
Pretty great there. Teddy Bruschi does a great job, too, commentating games. Heather Mitz, Cincinnati native, 3 Olympic gold medalist, turning at 47, a longtime soccer player. She actually worked ESPN for a year, and she's married to A.J. Feely. And when I was playing with him briefly in St. Louis, she came up, we were talking after practice, and she was like telling us about how she interviewed A.J. and I one time when we were in college. And I just sat there, and I was like, I looked at her, I was like, we were appropriate, correct? And she's like, you guys were great. I was like, all right, just wanted to make sure on that. I had no idea, like, what the follow-up was going to be or how that was going to go. But Heather, one of my favorites. Natalie Portman, turning 44, the Star Wars star.
And the Oscar goes to Natalie Portman.
That's right.
Black Swan.
This is the first Academy Award and second nomination for Natalie Portman. Her first Oscar nomination was for supporting actress in Closer.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the Academy. This is insane. I am so grateful to get to do the job that I do. I love it so much.
And turning 42 today, Browns legend Joshua Cribbs.
Cribbs from the 33. And here he goes. To the 40, the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Cribbs.
There goes Cribbs. It's a foot race with William Gay. Oh, he's all the way. That is a touchdown by Josh Cribbs. The 6th kickoff return touchdown in his brilliant career.
Cribbs backpedals from the goal line. Cribbs finds a running lane, breaks a tackle, sidesteps another, and there he goes! Off to the races, Josh Cribbs! He's gone! Touchdown, Browns! Josh Cribbs, the all-time leader in kickoff returns for touchdowns in NFL history. Cribbs takes it out of the end zone, middle of the field, and Josh Cribbs! He does it again! Josh Cribbs is at a different level. 103 yards.
Pretty darn impressive. One of the great ones to return all time for the Browns. And then on this date, 1870, Charles Dickens passed away, losing
the Sam Dickens.
What in the Sam? You know who Charles Dickens is, Thidoff?
Yeah, I think he wrote Scrooge, right?
I don't know if that's what it was called.
He wrote that. When he wrote like Oliver Twist,
Carol.
right?
Christmas Carol,
he
Oliver
wrote,
Twist, Tale of Two Cities.
Did not write Huckleberry Finn, but he wrote like a...
that was Mark Twain.
That was Twain on that one. But
also known as Samuel Clemens.
Yeah, Samuel Clemens is his stage name, or his real name, but Mark Twain was the stage name. But
what stage was he on?
David Copperfield, wasn't that also...
Was that Dickens?
I think that was Dickens. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Because I know that because that's what Schlegel says. Poof, David Copperfield.
I don't think that has anything to do with Charles Dickens.
It might not, but it's the same name, right? Okay, okay. David Copperfield book is not David Copperfield magician related?
I don't think so.
Shark? You're smart. You're learned. Is David Copperfield...
No.
Okay, then what's David Copperfield about with
I don't know.
Dickens?
Chester Copperpot?
I'm just saying.
Do you know Chester Copperpot?
lived across the street from Northridge Road.
Oh, gosh. You never saw the Goonies?
No.
Of course not.
That's got to do with the weird head, right?
He's a pirate.
Okay, whatever.
So holidays observances today. It is Donald Duck Day. It is National Strawberry and Rhubarb Pie Day. Pentecost Monday as well. And Writers' Rights Day. And those historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date. Monday, June 9th, 160th day of the year, and 205 days remaining this 2025.
There we go, Bobby. Well done. Bill Bender joins us next. Morning Juice.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here 4 hours.
This is Morning Juice.
It is Morning Juice. God, I'm learning so much. I always do. Look, Bobby, this is right now, doing shows with you and Shark is education for me. It's a free college education for me. Actually, I'm getting paid to learn from you guys and also the chat. The whole leaving Las Vegas thing we just talked about.
I forgot that he was in The Nightmare on Elm Street.
The Copperfield thing. I mean, these are all great things. And I'm going to learn more. Bill Bender joins us. Seems Sporting News. Bill Bender here on Morning Juice. Appreciate the time, Bill. I know it's early in the morning. Let's talk about this House versus NCAA settlement. And in 2 minutes, tell me, why is it good? Just kidding. Just why is it? Is this a good thing that this got settled now?
Well, I knew the House settlement question was going to come first.
Yes.
I think that for schools, it'll be a little bit of scramble mode, trying to get everything ready July 1st as they implement that and the revenue sharing that comes with it. I think long term it's a good thing. It helps, like the first guardrail of NIL essentially, or paying the players, and it's more moving toward a more equitable system that we can do with college student athletes, and probably the next step toward contracts, which, we've talked about that for years on this show. I think that would be a good thing as well.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting because there was some concern, Bill, that it may not get passed, or there may be, significant changes to it, which would throw another wrench in all of these things. And so the fact that it got passed, I think, was good. And now, like you said, you have these guardrails. You said long-term it'll be a good thing. I know a bunch of schools now, since they're able to spend up to $20.5 million in this first year on player payment with NIL, and they're going to have the clearinghouse that approves everything else, and with Deloitte being a third-party member, there's all these different tentacles to it. What do you see this being the broader impact of college sports in general, of what do you see it looking like 5 years from now from this?
Hopefully, like I said, that we've got something toward a contract model where student athletes, once you're recruited, and I know we're in summer camp season, you stay at a school for 2 years, that you're getting paid and guaranteed money. Like, one of the things, Bobby, I know there are websites that have, they guess at how much money college football athletes make. We really have no idea. And we have a system there that we can do that. I don't know how I feel about a salary cap in college football. I guess that's what this is supposed to be. But I think within the next 5 years, we're going to find out which 40-some schools can actually do this and compete, and which schools can't. And I think we've talked about that for the years. And I think that obviously a lot of those schools that can do this and supplement with NIL on top of that money are going to come from the Big Ten and the SEC.
Do you think, and we always look at football, basketball, everything else. I was just watching the softball World Series. You got Texas Tech and Najee Kennedy out there playing Texas, and, she's reportedly making, over $1 million. What type of net impact? We talk football, men's basketball, because that's where obviously the eyeballs are. And then we see some of the higher end stuff in some of the other sports. Do you think, though, there'll be a significant reduction, though, in sports in general across that college football landscape or the college athletic landscape?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think this will end up benefiting everybody. I've heard, the stories about when this is implemented, the other sports are in trouble. I don't, at a place like Ohio State, I couldn't see that happening. Obviously the football team is great, but softball had a good year. The lacrosse team had a good year in the spring. The basketball teams are always important. So, there's plenty of sports to go around at places like that. And I obviously think, when you have a softball pitcher making $1 million in NIL or whatever, that's good for her and good for the sport, honestly, because we're talking about that this time of year. And hopefully we can continue to grow those sports too. I don't see it being that, but I hope it's not.
Bill Bender joins us here on Morning Juice. When do you think we will hear, or will we ever in our lifetimes hear, what kind of punishment Michigan gets, and what do you think it will be?
So the hearing was over the weekend, and I think the only thing that I saw that got leaked was that Connor Stallions reportedly was there. So wonder what he wore.
Central Michigan stuff, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, the irony is they play Central Michigan this year. But I think, obviously, within 45 days, the NCAA will make a ruling. I'm guessing it'll be right when I pull up the Big Ten Media Day. I'm just assuming that because they'll have 100 things to do, and then they'll punish Michigan. And I think it'll range from, worst case scenario for Michigan, they get a 1-year postseason ban. Best case, they get fined money. Now, what that money is, remember, Tennessee got fined $8 million, and I think that $8 million matters a little bit more now than it did, 15 years ago, because you are, in fact, paying these players, and they could get a fine and maybe some recruiting, whatever you call it, like violations that they sanctions that they limit how they can recruit, but I don't know that matters that much.
Do you think we'll have new penalties in this, given the new model that we've never seen before?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think they probably will. I think most of it will come down to money. I mean, you can give teams postseason bans. They still exist. Akron just got one, obviously, for academic reasons. But that's a great question, because I think the way I would do it is I would hurt your wallet, and then I would hurt your the way you can recruit. And my editor brought this one up. Bill Turchi suggested, could you – I don't think you could. I think you'd run into some problems. But could you limit how teams could use the portal? But then at that point, you're kind of telling a kid, you can't go to school here. And I don't know. That could get a little weird, don't you think?
Absolutely. But that's why I'm just curious with this, with the portal and NIL and like the salary cap model. Always used to be scholarship reductions, win vacation, things like that. But with this, like, there's a lot of different levers they can pull. And I was just kind of curious your thoughts as to where that would ultimately go.
Right. And I think that's, we always talk about how the NCAA has no power. Well, who's going to enforce this? I know there's going to be enforcement in the new system of NIL, where, we're going to have a way to do that, tracking how they pay this. And I think that's going to be interesting to see if they can actually do that. But there are a lot of different ways that they're going to do that. And now I wonder, in this new setup, does the NCAA step up enforcement? My guess, as yours would probably be, is probably not, but we'll see.
So Bill, when it's all said and done, let's say this all gets done and announced, this is what's going to happen. Do you think they will force or try to force Michigan to abandon the title, which I don't think the NCAA can even do, but it'll probably be more all future sanctions, right? Like scholarships these years, fines being paid now. All these things will be more about going forward, not looking back.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. I suppose you could say, hey, we can still vacate victories, but that practice
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, I watched USC, right? I watched Louisville win a national title.
We watched DeVere and Terrell, yes.
Right, but it's more of, I think it goes toward, the reputation of a school. And that does matter when you say, well, this school had all this taken away. I mean, we still talk. Notre Dame, there was a case I forgot about with Brian Kelly. Remember, they had 13 victories taken away over academic issues. So I still think they'll try to do that occasionally. I don't know that it'll happen here, but, it's still something they can use. And I do think the postseason ban's still effective, because if you have a team that can make the playoff, and it's easier to make the playoff now, and they take that away from you, I mean, let's say they give Michigan a postseason ban. That would matter to a guy like Bryce Underwood, a five-star freshman who's probably going to play there, and how quarterbacks moving in and out of the portal, that would be a big deal.
Yeah, it feels like now, Bill, with the penalty, the way they used to be, and because of the transferring restrictions, you could punish players that had nothing to do with it. But now, like, if this comes out now, Underwood could transfer somewhere, no problem, and play the next season. You know what I mean? Like, without any issues. Right. So it feels like there are there's some fail-safe thing in place that where even if your program gets punished, your current players have options.
Right, and that's different than, when Penn State had their sanctions.
Right.
It was a big deal that players could transfer without penalty, because at that time, theoretically, a Penn State running back would have had a 3-year. And I do think that's a difference maker. So, like I said, I think worst case scenario for Michigan, they would go 1-year bull ban. And, some of this is, as the NCAA does work, and one of the things they've been consistent about is if you don't cooperate, they might, punish you a little more. And I just don't know the math. I mean, I've said this for years since I've been at Sporting News. When I'm asked, what do you think the NCAA will do? I mean, that's anybody's guess, because they're so inconsistent in how they punish schools from year to year.
Bill, what are we working on right now with the Sporting News?
We'll have a couple things this week. I mean, obviously more off-season content. We did schedules last week. I'm going to start looking at bowl projections this morning, so I'm going to need an extra cup of coffee for that. And then, Bobby, Big Ten Media Day isn't that far down the road. So, you're already prepping for some things in July now.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. That's cruising along. We're middle of June almost. So by the end of this week, we'll be staring at everything coming up here football as we begin to always crossing the 4th of July to me, Bill, was always like a significant point in the summer because at that point, then I think you start focusing on training camp starting in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely. And we'll plan for that at Sporting News accordingly. Looking forward to all the coverage we have. And I look at it the exact same way. I do get a little bit of summer, and then once July 4th hits, it might as well be football season then.
Look, you've got 70 bowl games you got to do projections for, so that's got to take some time right there. It used to be very easy. It was like 12 or 15, and now you've got everything else, the Poland Weed Eater Bowl, whatever it is. You got all those ones you have to figure out now. God bless you. Thank you. We appreciate the time, Bill.
Yeah, Tito, I'll send you my Bahamas Bowl projection right away. Thanks so much for having me on.
You bet. That was him. Bill Bender there, Sporting News. It'll be Mac 3 in the Bahamas Bowl. Or does Mac 1 go to the Bahamas Bowl? Mac 1 goes to the 4th, right?
They go to Detroit.
They go to Detroit.
It's like the third ranked team. It's better to be third than first.
I agree with that. Yes, absolutely. Coming up next, Bobby, your boy Braves did something that I wish you would do at 49. We will do that next in Quick Hitters. Morning Juice.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Bobby Carpenter, husband, father, Buckeye. Jeff Thidoff, husband, father, idiot. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Good Lord. Shark, we're on the air, were they? They could not hear what we said in the break, could they?
I kept the mics on, yes.
You did? Oh. Make today's meeting a lot more interesting now, I guess. That's fine. By the way, this is the lazy part of the show. We let Shark take over.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Hey, Shark.
What?
Good morning.
Stop ripping me.
I'm not ripping you. I told you I'm going to miss you. I don't want you to leave and it turn into something else.
Mike Vrabel is no spring chicken, but while scouting potential first-round draft picks, he decided to go one-on-one with an offensive tackle during a pre-draft workout. It did not go well for Vrabes, who turns 50 in August. During that workout, Vrabel lined up against LSU's Will Campbell, who goes 6'6", 319. Vrabes was quickly put on the ground. Why did he do it? Quote, because I needed to see what it was like. He caught me pretty good. Unquote. So good that the Patriots made Campbell the 4th overall pick in the draft. But Vrabel didn't learn his lesson, Bobby. During OTAs, he put on a scout team jersey and jumped into practice.
4-eye, Bobby. What does 4-eye mean to you?
What do you mean got in a 4-eye?
That was the play. It was a 4-eye play. It was like a...
You mean he got in a 4-eye... The alignment he had was a
4-eye. Yes. I saw that and I learned it and I read it and I thought it was very impressive, like on the inner shoulder.
That's 4-eye inner shoulder of the tackle.
He did it. Will you do it at 50 or 49? We do it 49.
I'm not getting in a 4-eye ever.
You won't. Okay.
There's no need for me to be doing that. I still go run and do some stuff. Now
I know you do.
I was literally watching the XFL championship.
I think UFL.
Come on.
UFL.
Is it UFL?
Yeah,
were watching?
Well, I was on at the pool. It was running the bar. I was getting drinks.
Who was playing in it?
I don't. St. Louis and
Orlando Renegades.
I don't know.
Steve Spurrier coaching. I had no Corso.
I was watching, but I was watching. I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder if I'm better than any of those players right now.
You are.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, if I went in if I had practiced and done this, I was like, would I be able to do this? It's just, it's not. It'd be the longevity of it, doing it for multiple weeks, of just how slowly your body gets beaten up and how many NSAIDs I'd have to eat on a daily basis. Combining that with like the drinking element, it'd destroy me. But destroy my kidney and my liver. But seeing that with Vrabes, like that doesn't surprise me. I mean, Fick used to jump in there. I mean, James puts on the stuff, the garb, like Hart will go out and run some routes and do some things. Like you're always showing guys, what's up. As long as you physically are still in shape, you can go do some things. Now the problem becomes when you get in that physical element where you're not just demonstrating. Now I'm going to go and there's going to be guys that put hands on me. And at 50, that's hard.
Okay, he's 49,
tough.
Bobby. You're telling me there's no part of your competitive spirit, your competitive body, that says, I want to do it older than Vrabes did.
As long as I can physically still move,
you could do
I'm
it
not
right now,
getting
right?
A 4-eye. That's not something that I would do. That's not my positional forte.
He's 2 months shy of 50, so he's like probably 4 months shy when this happened, whoever it was. You're telling me that when you are 49 and a half,
if I'm still
does any part of you say, you know what, I'd like to do it after Vrabes did it age-wise, or Fickle, or Laurinaitis, or Hawk, or, Schlegs? Does any part of you feel like, you know what, I
would like to be able to know that I still could do that at that point.
You could do it right now, couldn't you?
I'm also almost 42, not almost 50.
I know,
so there's a big difference between me and Vrabes.
Yeah.
I could probably, like I said, I'll go run with the guys and do stuff like that. Practice with them like heck. It was a while ago now, 9 years, 8 years.
You used to do it.
I'll do drills and things. I could probably do enough.
If you're a 7th grade offensive lineman right now being recruited by Ohio State, Carpenter's going to drill you. Try to block him. Watch what happens.
That ain't how it's
we got it. There we go.
I don't think Hawk could go against 7th graders even. He's got a really bad back.
Hawk could do it.
His back is bad. Well, I think his back, his knee is consistently bad. His back that's a more recent development.
All you guys could do it. All of you could, Bobby. Don't tell me you couldn't. Because then I'm really old. Go ahead.
To review the Triple Crown races this spring, Sovereignty finished first in the Kentucky Derby ahead of Journalism, and then Journalism won the Preakness. Sovereignty did not run. They were the favorites Saturday at the Belmont. Journalism held the lead at the final turn, but Sovereignty put on a late charge and beat Journalism by 3 lengths. Tito, too bad he didn't run in the Preakness, or maybe we'd have our first Triple Crown winner since Justify in 2018?
I think so. Yes, I think look, horse racing, boxing, even tennis, IndyCar race, none of that stuff matters as much as it used to. I used to love it when it mattered, Shark.
Why does it not
You're
matter?
like, get off my lawn now.
No, you are, because you lost money on it, because you did not
Why
box it.
does it not matter anymore?
It's just not as, I'm sorry, it does matter, I'm sure, to some people. It's not as important, Bobby, as it used to be.
Not as important to you.
I don't think it's important across the world, do you? Do you think that...
How many, okay.
Oh
global travel over here. Because you make these statements... And
Barbados, Texas.
My son does this, and I call him out. He makes these overarching, grandiose statements.
Okay.
You don't think it's as important to people around the world. How many people around the world, August Snow, citizen of the world, do you talk to?
By the way, you're getting Sheriff Marshall. I got it.
That's good.
How about that? How about that?
The citizen of the world. Okay, so how many people across the world do you talk to?
Bobby, I don't think...
How many people outside of Central Ohio do you talk to?
Listen, Bobby, I'm telling you right now, there are certain things when I was younger, everybody in Van Wert said we're watching it. Okay?
Yeah.
It was the Indy 500.
Yep.
It was Derby. It was Preakness. It was Belmont. Yes, it was all of those. It was the PBA Championship in Akron, Ohio.
Pro Bull Riders
Yes, it was that.
You
Yes.
thought you were going to slide that by me and not know what it was?
No, you knew. I knew what you knew. I do. Listen, you're Lancaster. You're Glankster. You knew what it was. I'm telling you that even though all of those things mattered back then, they don't matter as much now. You think they do. You think the Belmont, you think the Triple Crown.
I don't think the Belmont's ever really mattered.
Oh, it used to?
Unless there's a Triple Crown running. Everybody still gets together and watches the Derby.
Did you get together and watch Derby's people?
Yes.
Did you have mint juleps? Did you have mint juleps? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you for the Preakness or Belmont? No.
No, because when
couldn't
they
win
make the announcement that the Derby
So I'm saying,
winner
okay.
isn't running.
So you're saying if
everyone's
it was a Triple Crown, you would have done it?
Yeah.
Probably, but not now.
Because that's
fine.
something to watch history.
Who was the
I've
last
never
one
been
you
a
said,
big
Shark?
horse rating.
Justified.
What year was that?
18.
All right.
So I
That's
watched
where
that.
Barbaro
That was a
getting
big
put
deal
down.
watching it when Justified won. It was the first time won in 30-some odd years.
No. Like 3 years earlier.
But from 15,
that was the first time
in like 30 or 40 years.
since like affirmed in 79 or something. Yeah.
Anytime you can put somebody down on it doesn't happen in baseball usually.
Oh, you mean
You can
like
put somebody
shoot
down
them
like
right there on the track
because they break a leg or whatever.
They shoot
the
horses,
Barbaro
don't
thing
they?
changed for me. Barbaro is what changed for me with horse racing.
Why?
Because they put him down.
That's what they do.
I understand
Was
that,
there,
but I
was
don't
there an
like it.
expectation that was something different was going to happen?
I'm just saying, Bobby, that part changed horse racing for me. Barbaro. That's the first horse I know.
So that's when it maybe didn't matter as much anymore.
Probably not as much. And there was a guy at the dispatch used to work. His name was Ed Zagance.
Yes, I remember
You know
Ed. I don't know him, but I remember.
always called him Barbaro. He always, listen to me, this is the truth. He always called in sick to work. He's dead now. R.I. something. Okay, whatever. R.I. up. R.I. somewhere. Anyway, he always called in sick the day of the Pro Bowl. He liked to watch the Pro Bowl. So I always called him.
Used to be competitive.
And one time, Bobby, larger guy, and he broke his ankle.
Watching the Pro Bowl?
I don't know if you, but I'm saying like I called him Barbaro after that, and that did not go well with him. I would always call him Barbaro at the dispatch because he always called me sick.
That off. If you go down, I'll be the one. I'll finish you off.
That's fine, Bobby. You can. I'll give you the gun with the bullet.
No, I would probably smother you with a pillow.
You would?
Yeah.
That means we have to be in the bedroom together, Bobby.
No,
because you're not bringing a pillow just to hang out.
I got a pillow in my car.
Okay, that's
always
fair.
at all times, just in case.
All right.
The Browns have a 5-headed monster at quarterback, although Deshaun Watson isn't in the running to be the starter because he's still recovering from a ruptured Achilles. But now the new Cleveland offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, didn't add any clarity to who's favored to win the starting job when he met with reporters last week. According to Rees, any of the other four, Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, Sanders, can win it. The Browns have a mandatory minicamp this week, last chance to evaluate quarterbacks before training camp. Bob, I would like to pin you down today on, what is this, June the 9th. I won't be around to say, nope, you were wrong.
Who's starting game one?
Who will be the starting Browns quarterback in
Do you think
week
there's one
one?
of four? Do you think all four are really in the running to start game one?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, depending on how bad. If 3 are terrible, it doesn't matter.
I think all 4 of them are stellar, Bob. It's going to be a hard decision.
It probably will be a hard decision. I don't know if it's because they're all stellar,
They're
though.
all great.
I feel like Kenny Pickett is going to be the day 1 starter.
Not Flacco.
Yeah.
Really?
I think if Pickett shows anything, he'll be the guy.
I think it's Pickett or Flacco, though. That's why I say I know it's all 4. I know that Reese said they all could do.
I think they'd rather have Pickett start over Flacco.
Because Pickett's more likely to lose?
Well, he's younger. There's potential there with him.
If he's close,
if he's close to Joe, he did kind of a mess in Pittsburgh. I was never a huge fan of his coming out. I thought they overdrafted him, but it's been a couple years now. If he's gotten better, if he's improved, we'll kind of see where it goes. And the fact that he's a former Pittsburgh starting quarterback, I think that they like that.
I'll ask this question to you with a Browns fan on the other side of the glass here. Do you think Browns fans would rather be 5-12 or 1-16?
I think if you believe that you have your quarterback of the future, 5-12.
Okay. Shark, would you rather have the Browns go 5-12 or 1-16?
5-12.
I
have never sat down and watched the Browns game hoping that they lose.
I'm not saying.
And I hear so many people say, "Oh, we need to tank. We need to get the first pick."
Well, get the number 1 pick.
I never do that.
So you're
First
telling
of
me,
all, I don't have faith in my team to draft well because they have a history of not doing that.
You got 2 in the top 5, though. If you had the Browns and Jags both in the top picks, both in the top 5,
then you package them and trade down.
Trade down again, right? Yeah, right. Go get Travis Hunter if you want to.
One thing I will agree with you on, Tito, which is a very rare thing for me. I do think it's going to be Flacco or Pickett. I would be shocked if one of the 2 rookies is starting game 1. Not to say they won't start at some point during the season.
I think they both start. Honestly, I think 4 Browns quarterbacks start the season.
Well, I think if Pickett is named the starting quarterback, I don't know that Flacco's going to be around.
They'll trade him or just cut him?
I don't know that there's any how much value.
Wait until somebody gets hurt. When someone gets hurt, maybe.
I just think, how are you going to carry 4 quarterback or 5 in this case on the roster? I don't see it happening. One of them's going to be cut or traded or something.
See, if I'm a Browns fan, I'd rather go 1-16 than 5-12.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Not if you feel you find one of those 3 guys and believe that they're your starter moving forward.
Are you talking about Arch Manning?
Arch Manning, or you know what?
Who?
Or insert player here. Give me a top pick in the draft.
Quinn
Give me
Ewers.
somebody. No, I'm just saying, whoever it is. That's not Quinn Ewers. But I'm saying,
he was
anybody.
supposed to be that guy to start the season.
All I'm saying is that if I'm not going to make, and I'll say the same thing about the Steelers. If I'm not going to make the playoffs, then suck.
I don't like.
If you can't make the playoffs, then suck.
Team.
Yeah, but what if the Steelers went 6-11?
Okay.
But Will Howard started for him and looked really good the last 9 or 10 games.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
So then why would you rather him be 1-16?
But okay, if you tell me that qualifier, Bob, that it's
That's
5-12 with Howard.
But
Okay,
the last qualifier, would you rather be this? I said I'd rather be 5-12
for the Browns,
and figure out my starting quarterback than have another chance to pick another quarterback who you have no idea if they'll be any better than what you have.
Bob, I don't think Pickett or Flacco's the long-term answer in Cleveland. If you tell me 5-12 and I've got an answer on the quarterback, yes.
Okay, then there
but
you go.
1-16 without the answer, no. Same thing with Pittsburgh. If you tell me Pittsburgh's, if they go 5-12, but no Will Howard is going to be the guy going forward, which, God, I hope he would. I would take that. But if you're not going to give Will Howard a shot, then go 1-16 and get the best player. Maybe it's not a quarterback necessarily, but maybe it's somebody else who gets in there. All I know is, Shark, your Browns stink. Fair? Shark's not responding.
Shark died.
Coming next, top of the hour, the House versus NCAA settlement was approved. What now? We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
It's been a real journey since 2014. When I first had my injury, I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. We build a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here.
I'm pregnant.
This is Morning Juice.
Wow! Mind blown. Off the air. Good Lord.
Well, the question is, it's
no,
like,
no,
here it is. Let off. And this is what you posed. Similarly, would you rather be 5-12 or 1-16? And I gave you the qualifier.
Yes,
I'd rather be 5-12.
Fair.
If in those 5 wins, I found out who my quarterback of the future is. Instead of being terrible and trying to go draft another one, hoping that it's going to be better than what it is now. And you're like, who do you like more? Who do you respect more? Just give me. Listen, Thidoff, this ain't my first rodeo.
I know it's not your first rodeo,
Okay,
Bob.
I said, who would you rather be around?
No,
someone who is an entertaining fool, or someone who is an ultimate deceiver and just tells you what you want to hear, but never follows through on any of it.
Okay,
Bob. And I
Bob.
said, give me but actually is intelligent and has competence. I go, give me the likable fool, because at least I can entertain myself with them.
Okay.
It's like me, with the village drunk, like making jokes and making fun of them, and they're not even sure that they know that you are making fun of them.
Okay, here's my issue, though, Bob. In your analogy, what we talked about, am I Ryan Leaf? Because it feels like you're saying I'm Ryan Leaf. I'm just saying, in overall terms, it feels like what you're saying there is I am Ryan Leaf.
No, it has nothing to do with Ryan Leaf. It was the other analogy.
But I'm saying, though, if there's other things that happen, I think you're saying I'm Ryan Leaf.
No.
I'm not? Am I Tony Mandarich?
Also a
Oh, wow. Here we go. Now we paused on that when I said, am I Tony Mandarich?
Not even close to Tony Mandarich.
Am I Charles Rogers from Michigan State? R.I.P. Am I Mike Williams from USC? Where do who am I in this?
See, that's what happens. You're naming all these guys that were high draft picks and didn't get the job done. So you intentionally want to go in the tank to draft somebody who you have no idea is going to succeed.
Here's what I would tell him. never in your life have you had as much ability as any of those people. So I couldn't. Yeah,
Listen, I've talked myself up like Ryan Lee. I understand that. But listen,
as a matter of fact, this is your first rodeo.
I think I've had potential, Bobby. Have I had no potential?
What was your sport?
I don't know.
Were you a baseball player?
I was a wiffle ball player.
Okay.
Okay, listen, I was really good at wiffle ball.
Was that a team sport in high school or
no?
Backyard?
No, I was a wiffle ball. Eric Susie would pitch, I would hit, and we'd go over the house. The 2-story house was our blue monster because the house was blue, and we'd go over the house, so it's a home run. I played 4 games of freshman football in high school.
What position?
I was a defensive end and a tight end. And
how big were you as a freshman?
6 feet tall, same height now, and I was 155 pounds.
It's about the same size as me.
I was 155 as a senior.
Were you really?
School, yeah.
I was 175, and then when I went to the Army. I was 6 feet, 175. I'm not 175. But there was a game against East.
Thanks for letting us know that.
You're welcome. A game against East High School, and that was when I realized I was not a football player. Because the defensive end and I got into a slap match when the play was going on. I broke my wrist.
When you went to basic training, were you one of the top athletes in your class?
No, but I did enjoy doing the same obstacle course John Candy did. We did that same course. That's what happened. By the way, in basic training, you want to do this now? Look, in basic training, let me tell you this, Shark. In basic training, it was I got in November 20th is when I went in. When I got my first flight ever.
First time on a plane
was Columbus to Cincinnati. It was 20 minutes. And then hop on a bus and go to Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so we get there. And in basic training, I got extra leave around the holidays because my drill sergeant, you go through base training, everyone's got their jobs, infantry, whatever, quartermaster. What are you? I'm a journalist. Okay. You get made fun of right there because you're a journalist. You're taking a typewriter. But my drill sergeant, who had a friend outside of his marriage, okay?
Okay.
He told me I could have extra days off if I wrote poems for him to give to her.
Not his wife.
Not this friend. And I would take...
I mean, you're a writer, but were you a poet?
No, I wasn't a poet. Emerson's over here? No. I would take the cards my girlfriend sent me and copy them over and give them to him to give to her. I got 2 extra days off around Christmas.
That was 90s version of AI.
That's what it was, Shark.
That's pretty amazing.
Funny.
That is. I'll give you credit, Thitoff.
I was crafty.
That might be, well.
I was crafty. I got 2 extra days off.
Did you ever cry during basic training?
No. But I will tell you this. The toughest part of basic training was this camp you had to go to, at the very end. It's 3 days. You're out in the wild. You're out in all the stuff.
Survival training.
Okay, survival. You're out there. Whatever it was. That's fine, Bobby. You weren't there. It's fine.
I've never done any of this.
Listen.
I've been around the military
so much. This makes sense. So you're supposed to go out there,
do night
camp,
and stuff.
It's cold. Fort Knox is cold.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is now February, whatever it was. January was, because January. I got sick, had a fever, couldn't go do this thing. I was in the hospital during the time all of my other basic training guys were out there, and I watched the Bills-Giants Super Bowl from my hospital bed while they were out there doing that. And I'm sitting there, but you can say, look, they wake you up every 2 hours to make you drink ice chips to try to get the fever down, whatever it was. But I was there in the hospital for 3 days and missed that part of it, Bob.
You didn't have to make it up.
No. I wrote poems for the drill sergeant. You kidding me?
I'm highly concerned about the quality of our military in the 90s.
No, back then, we won the war. We did it, Bobby. What? We did it. Bobby, we won.
Gosh.
Schwarzkopf, we did it.
You're almost like a movie character. I mean, it's not quite. We're not quite John Candy. Like this isn't Full Stripes, but we're about halfway there.
John Candy might play you in the biopic.
Yes.
The first 2 weeks we were spent doing making the beds for the barracks that they had in Stripes. We were doing that the first 2 weeks I was out there because there was a delay in where things were going. But yes, so yeah, Bobby, I missed it, but I still graduated on time with my class because Sergeant Pramos got Poems.
He's still alive?
Famous Pramos? I think he is. I think he might be a master sergeant now. Last
Still
time I
him.
checked. Oh, yeah, he's still there. There was him and there was Roberts. There was another guy. And I loved the chanting when we were walking, the whole cadence of everything.
Yeah.
That was one of my most favorite parts of all of that.
Okay.
Was doing the 6 and 10 mile walks with the rucksacks on and all that gear. Loved it.
You could still do that now. I mean, you could get back into
I'm busy
it.
right
If
now. I
you
got
want me
stuff
to
to
walk
do.
around and yell at you from behind.
No, it's okay. No, first of all, let's tap the from behind part with you yelling at me, Bobby. We're not going to do that. It's a family show. College settlement. Do we have time? Yes, college settlement, Bobby. This House versus NCAA settlement, $2.8 billion. And I feel like if I were first of all, the Big East schools.
A former player, you'd be getting some cash.
Listen,
Be nice.
I would write poems. But if you're the Big East basketball schools should be able to clean up in this. If you get this money and you have the money to spend and all that, I'm saying the $20.8 million.
If you have the money.
If you have the money, it should make the Big East with the schools that don't have football or don't prioritize football an advantage. Do you think other schools who maybe aren't competitive in a certain sport, let's just say Big Ten, all right? We know Northwestern, Maryland, they will not be big-time competitors in football. Should they take those funds and put them towards other sports to try to be dominant in those sports?
No, because you know where all that money comes from?
Okay, it comes from football.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing, and this is going to come to a head here probably in the next handful of years, that if you're not going to try to win at football, because that's where this is why Ohio State has to play at big noon every freaking week.
Right.
Because half of the other schools really don't try or try very well.
Right.
At trying to be good. So if you're telling me you're just going to punt on football and try to be good at basketball or baseball, lacrosse, pick your other sports.
Right.
I don't
Softball,
care.
whatever.
Wrestling, whatever it is.
Sure.
Pick your sport. And that's where you're going to allocate these dollars and try to dominate there.
You're going to get your money from the media rights deal.
Yeah,
no matter what, you get money from media rights.
And
right?
when this is all renegotiated in 2029.
Right.
If I'm Ohio State and I go in there, I'm saying that I'm getting 40% of the money from this
I would have said
conference.
from the start, yes. I would have said yes.
So
Stop
that's the
sucking
problem
off the
because
teat.
you guys are not trying to win. You don't put a viable product out there. And because of this now, we have to go out and play every week at big noon because you can't carry your
Right.
part of the burden. So if you're telling me that you're going to take some of those dollars and just siphon them off to try to be good at other sports, that ain't happening.
That's what they do, though, in other sports. Though I'm not saying.
Who?
I'm not saying.
Who does
wait,
that?
listen. I'm not saying college ball. No, I'm saying in Major League Baseball, you've got revenue sharing, where teams get money from the big NBA. Teams get money. There's taxes and all that. Yes, the luxury tax and all that. So I'm just asking, is that something viable, or something that, if I'm Northwestern, I will never. Randy Fitzgerald's not walking through that door. It's Randy Walker. I'm sorry. Randy Walker.
Fitzgerald, put them together.
Right,
Randy and Pat Fitzgerald.
It's fine. Pat Fitzgerald, Randy Walker. They're all. Neither one's walking through that door, Bobby.
How about Gary Barnett?
Denny Barnett.
Denny Barnett and Gary Green. They're not walking through that door. Gangrene. Are you though? So if
How about
you're
Era Parmesan.
Era Parmesan. If you can't, if you're not going to be elite in football, does it make sense to be elite in something else?
If you're not going to try, then you're not getting the money, so you're not going to be good at anything. And that would be my stance.
I want to ask you this, Bobby.
Okay, well, that's what we kind of do here.
That's what we do.
And I shoot down your terrible ideas.
No, first of all, these are great ideas. If I told
it is,
you.
and so I tell them, you're not doing that on my watch.
Well, I understand. No, you shoot them down, but they're great when I say them first. If I told you 2 months ago, Ohio State, Texas will be a Friday night primetime game. And I'm going to give all the high schools in Ohio a chance to schedule their games for Saturday. I'm going to tell you now.
Okay, so you do realize that there are teams that share stadiums and different things, and
yes.
that's not a viable option.
Okay. Well, wait. They don't share high school stadiums.
You don't think so?
Well, no.
There are high schools that play at the same stadiums that
They do. No, I know. I'm saying.
So it's
but
impossible
you could
to
still,
have everybody play on one night.
No, but I'm saying you could have an earlier game. It's not like the stadium's tied up the
that's
entire
what I want
day.
to do is play a Saturday
asking
afternoon JV style game.
Here
That's
we
what
go.
they do in New Jersey.
Bobby, would you rather have big noon Ohio State, Texas, or Friday night Ohio State, Texas in high school games on Saturday?
I'm not playing on Friday night.
You would take big noon Saturday over that?
Yeah. I'm not playing
even
on
with
Friday
the notice.
Night. Yeah, I'm not playing on Friday night.
Shark?
Saturday.
You would still do big noon Saturday
Friday
over
night college football.
even if we have enough advance notice to move things
I don't
around.
care. I don't want to play games on Friday nights. That's lower level for college football than it is playing at noon.
You think I don't know if in some cases, yes, I do agree with you.
I'm just telling you.
I'm saying
You want
Ohio
my
State,
opinion?
Texas, though.
I don't care if it's Ohio State playing the Green Bay Packers.
Okay, Ohio State playing Penn State. You're saying if I tell you right now.
No,
not Friday.
Friday night is.
Give me a good Iowa Minnesota game on a Friday.
There's a Rutgers Nebraska game or something, whatever. Rutgers Iowa. There's some kind of game.
Rutgers
like that.
played USC on Friday night this year.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah. I think I would rather have if you told me ahead of time that we could have.
I don't care if you're telling me in the present time, ahead of time, whatever time. It doesn't matter.
I think though, Bobby, it would be better.
I love playing games at night.
Yeah,
Friday night. Awful.
Over Saturday at noon?
Listen, I told you. You know my stance on Friday night.
I know.
Friday night is an embarrassment. That's what the money's for. I get it. And I'll come back from going to dinner and watching a high school game, and I'll put on Purdue and Iowa and watch the end of that.
Right.
Or USC and UCLA or Oregon. That's fine for other places. Friday night is not when I watch and consume high school football that I care about.
Ohio State's got games coming up with Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't want those to be big noon games.
I don't want them either. The Georgia games don't have to be because that's after the TV contract expires.
Right. Well, see, I'm saying, like, if you gave me a choice, though, I would always take Friday night if you could tell me that a high school football gets moved to Thursday or Saturday. I would take that and have a Friday night Ohio State game with the state focused on that.
Why don't we just move Ohio State to Thursday night?
No. Okay. You can do it too, Shark. You can do it. First game of the season, why not? Who cares? You've got time to. You're telling me 2 days. He's going to say something different. But 2 days makes that big of a difference?
Yes. Of course it makes. I got to work Friday morning.
Not you. No, you don't. When Ohio State plays Georgia, you're working on. No.
People are working.
This does not apply
Friday.
to you, Shark.
All right. This is it is kind of another one of your dumb takes.
Feels like you're on the fence about it.
I did.
Bobby, wait. Okay, Thursday night, Bobby? Would you be okay with that or not?
Tito's terrible takes.
No, would you be okay with Thursday night or not?
Segment.
Would you be okay with Thursday?
Not really. I'm more okay with that than Friday, but I still don't like it.
Would you do Thursday prime time or Saturday big noon for Ohio State, Texas?
Do you know how many Thursday night Ohio State games that they've hosted at the shoe?
Not a lot.
0.
It's not been 0, has it?
Thursday night?
Oh, at Minnesota, right? That was at Minnesota.
Yes.
I said hosted.
Was it Pitt?
I said hosted.
No,
I know. Was
it
Pittsburgh?
Was,
Shark will get it.
It was what did they call it? The Kickoff Classic or the Black Coaches Association Kickoff?
They hosted that?
Yes. What year was it?
No, maybe that wasn't.
You got one? You know it?
Yeah, I do know it.
Well, did you play in it?
No, I didn't. It was
Which game was it?
They played Marshall on Thursday
on
night.
A Thursday night
to open the season in 2008, maybe 9.
Was there it wasn't a Pennington or Leftwich thing then?
Dude, they're older than me.
I'm just asking, Bobby. I don't know the years. We're on live radio. I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of them.
You have some terrible answers. Well, is what you have.
I've got them.
You're gonna make me dig this up. I think it was 2008.
08.
Or 2007.
Marshall here.
Yeah.
Shark, would you have a Thursday night or Saturday noon?
I was at that game, and I don't remember that. It was
Did you catch a home run ball from Tomei?
I did.
I told that story, by the way, yesterday.
That was on a Sunday night.
Yes. Pitcher?
Chris Bossio.
Okay. Shark, would you rather have Saturday noon or Thursday night?
Saturday noon.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
No,
Saturday noon? No, I don't want
I'm not. Listen, I don't like big matchups at noon on Saturday.
Right.
But I grew up in an era when
2010, Ohio State defeated Marshall 45-7 on September 2nd, Thursday.
Randy Moss not there.
Randy Moss also not there. Terrell Pryor, senior, playing quarterback, though.
Did they win? No, wait, they didn't win.
45-7.
Vacated.
Tito, I grew up in a time when Woody Hayes said we're playing at 1:30 on Saturday.
That was great. I know, I'm with you.
If the networks want to televise us, they know what time we play. Boy, have things changed.
Shark,
now
I
the
to
networks dictate when you play.
Delivering the Saturday Dispatch, listening to that call. Terry Smith, the voice, or as they called him, the noise on the Dispatch. That thing you show on Fridays, like where they would do they always called him the noise. So they called Terry Smith.
Who was writing that? Ray Stein?
Stein, yeah. Of course it was. Of course it was Stein. What are you kidding? It was Stein. It was Holbrook. It was Scott Davis. Those guys were the ones who did it. Coming up next, as a Browns legend found a new home. We'll do that. Morning Juice.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them. Safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together. All of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, on every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Lexi spent more than 6 years in foster care.
Before I was adopted, I felt alone.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Lexi now has a forever family and the foundation for a bright future.
Adoption changed me for the better. I feel like I can be whoever I want to be.
You can help find permanent homes for children still lingering in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Hi, this is Martina McBride. With online news, social media, and texting available 24/7, the world seems to be spinning faster and faster every day. And it can be overwhelming. Sometimes we just need to unplug and take a break from our electronic devices. It can help reduce stress and allow us to reflect on the things that are really important in our lives.
This message brought to you courtesy of the United States Air Force.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Good Lord, it's Morning Juice. Bobby, did you think we would talk newspaper delivery today?
No, I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Did you have Thursday night football for college football on your card? And also the Marshall thing. The Marshall thing, I'm glad you pulled that. That was very solid by you.
I mean, if you guys want to pull references from before 1990, I'll let you guys do that. I'll pull the stuff after 2000.
We'll do it, man. The whole, like, we just had a conversation today about the Citizen Journal, RIP.
I don't even know what that is.
I know you don't. Shark knows it. Kate Kessler,
Rusty
right?
Miller used to write for
Rusty Miller did. God, Rusty Miller was he did everything.
Kate Kessler.
Kate Kessler?
I don't even know who these people are.
Bobby, you're missing out then.
Am I?
Yeah, you are. You missed
My
out.
life seems pretty complete.
No, you missed out.
I've never heard of them before. So,
Bob, it doesn't hurt to be educated about things that happened before you were born. One time I said to a sales girl at the radio station, do you know what happened on December 7th, 1941? She said, I have no idea. That was before I was born.
How could you not know that?
Believe me, a friend of mine was using their over a club. They gave him their number. It was 1776. I was like, that's nice. And someone goes, this lady goes, I feel like I should know that number. And I'm like, maybe the birth of your country.
Wasn't born then.
Maybe the birth of your country. I mean, I don't know.
I think you have old coins. Do you have an old coin in your collection anywhere in your life?
No.
From 1776?
No, I'm not saying that, Bobby. Do you have a coin anywhere in your life?
I collected the 50 state coins.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
actually,
that.
My uncle, for my birthday, would always give me the minted sets.
The what?
The mint sets.
Oh,
that
the mint sets,
from all of the different places. So, yes, I have all of those. I've got all that. My son's got them. He now does it for my son. So, yeah, we've got all that.
I've got a $1923 silver dollar.
What's it worth?
Probably would have. It's not in great shape. Probably the cost of silver, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't think it's worth.
Silver's worth. It's like worth $50 or something.
Might be $50, but it was $1. I went into a get-go.
Who's on the heads side of it?
That's Kennedy, right?
No, it wasn't Kennedy in 23.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
He was born in 17.
Bobby, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, it was not going to. It said PT 109 on it, but no. So I go into the Giant Eagle and get-go, Bobby, on Fifth Avenue in Grandview there. And the guy before me, this is like when economy's tanking and there's all kinds of crap going on. He pays for his gas with those coins.
Yeah, I like that.
And so I was like, hey, I'll take those after he leaves. And I got like a 22, a 21, a 23, a 27. Wow. Yeah, all from that. Now, I feel guilty saying this out loud. I should have just said, hey, I'll pay for it, keep your coins. But it didn't work. I kept the coins. Nonetheless.
You're a bad guy.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm just not. I'm not a saint.
You're not a good guy.
I'm not a saint, Bobby.
You're not a good guy.
Speaking of good guys,
what are you going to do with them?
Right now?
I mean, are you going to leave them to your kids?
I'll probably sell them at some point.
I hope.
I would, yeah. Hey, I might need him for an apartment. We're not sure. We'll talk about that off the air. By the way, Nick Chubb apparently signing with the Texans, Bobby.
Pending a physical. Yeah.
Pending a physical. Joe Mixon's already there. And as far as new Browns, when the Browns came back, I think there's Joe Thomas, there's Myles Garrett, there's Nick Chubb. He is top 3. I cannot think of another more loved player for the Browns. And I don't care, Bobby, what it costs. Whatever the Texans are paying him, you pay him 1 cent more to stay with Cleveland.
I don't think it's a money thing. I bet Cleveland didn't really even offer him a deal.
They didn't.
They should have,
and
though. That's what I'm saying.
He wanted to stay.
Yes, I'm saying that whatever the number was, whatever
I think the number
Texans will pay him.
I think the number could be less than what the Texans would pay him. And he would still sign with the Browns. The problem is that they drafted Quinshawn.
Which is great. And you also drafted the kid, Prentice? Is that his name? The kid from Tennessee?
From Miami of Ohio.
Whatever it is.
Travis Prentice.
Not Travis Prentice. It's Mr. Prentice, who taught social studies when I was in the 7th grade. No, they drafted another guy, though, a running back from Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair, Shark?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Like 5th round.
Whatever it is. I'm saying, though, Bobby, I don't care if you sign him and don't give him the ball ever. You don't let Nick Chubb go somewhere else over money.
So how do you – it's not over money. That's not why. Okay. They didn't even offer him a contract.
But Bobby,
so you think that was over money?
Yeah, I think if the Browns offer him $1 more than the Texans did, you don't think
I told you if the Browns offered him anything, he probably would take it.
That's perfect then. That's what I'm saying. Don't let him go.
So then it's not about money. You just brought in You do realize that there are roster limits.
I do.
What are you looking at up
the
there?
on-air sign. I just saw it up there. We talked about it.
Okay. So you do realize that you have a roster limit.
Yes.
And you have
a
to
roster
allocate players within that roster limit of how they're going to be used. So you can't bring on an aging running back who's not going to be a guy who plays and carries the football for you, who can't play special teams. Because you have no.
How many running backs are they going to carry?
I'm guessing
4.
Okay, 4.
Maybe 5.
4, 5, one or the other, right?
Tops.
Okay, they'll carry at least 3. We agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be smart to have Chubb as one of your 3?
No, because what else is he going to do when he can't carry the ball?
This is a lost year, Bobby, for the Browns.
I don't care. You have to have guys to be able to play special teams and do other stuff.
Sure.
So having a guy just to come over there and stand, you know what that was? That was called your third quarterback, and people don't even dress 3 quarterbacks half the time anymore because you need other players. You would be dressing him at the expense of then your 6th wideout or your 7th DB or whatever it is, another offensive lineman. And if you have somebody get hurt in the game, then you need to be able to play those guys. But this isn't a Halloween party.
No, I would go, though, to that 6th wide receiver or 7th defensive back. Say, look, I'm telling you right now, we're going to cut you or we're going to keep you for special teams.
Then that's fine. But if you don't dress them on game day, they can't play. And if you have other people that are injured, you need those guys to be able to play. And you're not going to cut a young guy who has potential, who could be better, for an old guy who's going to stand there and not do anything.
As a Browns fan, Shark, would you rather have Chubb as your 4th running back or the 6th wide receiver or 7th DB?
Oh, come on now, Tito.
No, I'm just asking.
Because you're telling me to make an emotional decision. It's a business.
The Browns should be emotional right now. They should make They've made stupid business decisions, Shark. They should make an emotional decision when it comes to Chubb. They're not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
It's not even emotional. It's a functional decision.
Here's what I will tell you. C.J. Stroud, Xavier Johnson, Tommy Togiai, Cade Stover, Nick Chubb. My 2nd favorite team in the NFL, the Houston Texans.
Okay.
That's what I'll tell you.
So you're okay with Chubb going there?
I'm happy that someone's giving. Now
he's not going to be the number 1 guy.
No,
Mixon's the
Joe
guy.
Mixon's going to be the guy.
He might not even make the team.
He might not. But do we even know what the dollar figure is?
It doesn't matter.
No, I know, but he's probably signing today.
Okay.
I bet they give him
when he passes.
2 to 3
you think
million.
it's 2 or 3 million for that?
3 million.
Maybe with some incentives. I don't
maybe
know.
2 million with incentives, $1 million with incentives.
But I'm saying from the Browns, I'd make that investment though, and then if Judkins doesn't work out though. But if Judkins doesn't work out, then I'd rather have Chubb there in the background. Chubb's role in Cleveland will be the same it's going to be in Houston, Bobby. It would be, there's no way Chubb is the number 1 back in Houston. He's not playing special teams, right?
Exactly.
So he's going to be a 2 or 3 back in Houston.
If he makes the team.
If he makes the team. I would rather, from a Browns fan, with this season's a lost season, Bob. We know they're not going to be in the playoffs.
So it's a lost season.
It's a lost season.
So you know what you do? You find out about your young players, Thidoff. You don't have some guy stand over there.
God, I
think
Chubb's what, 28?
Houston has utility for that.
Is Chubb 29, 28?
It doesn't matter.
Drafted in 18.
Okay.
That's 7. Yeah.
28,
I would say 28.
Okay, 28.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Houston has a utility for that because they are a team that's going to be in the playoff hunt. So you could bring in a veteran guy who could be a mentor, who's been around it, who's been through the game, who understands all that. By the way, Joe Mixon's done all that stuff too. So you have like another one of those guys. But if you want a good culture guy in your locker room, that's important. They're trying to, if you're the Browns, you're trying to get more draft picks, play more young guys. Why? Because it's a lost season. The wins and losses don't matter.
So, but, okay, Chubb was born in December of 95.
I don't care if he was
29.
born
So
in 2000.
This year, he'll turn 30. Okay, so Bobby, let me ask you this then. Let's say you're the Browns. Shark's laughing already.
Because I'm just curious what the next thing is going to come out of your mouth.
You signed Chubb for whatever money plus $1 that Houston offered.
I keep telling you, it's not even about that.
That's fine. I'm going to say whatever the number is. You signed Chubb back.
Yes.
All right. During the year, I think we can all agree the Browns are not going to be in contention.
I'm not going to agree to anything like that.
You won't agree the Browns?
Have you ever heard of worst to first?
Okay.
Happens every year in the NFL.
Bobby.
This is our year.
The retiring guy thinks it's their year. I'm asking you, Bobby. do you think the Browns, and I'm honestly, 100% now, do you think the Browns have a chance at making the playoffs?
I think, they've got a chance. I mean, it's probably one that exists in like the single-digit percentages.
Okay.
I'm not going to go on my app to find out their odds, but it's probably.
I'm guessing bottom 5 in the NFL.
Bottom 5, yes.
Definitely bottom 5.
Yes, it's like them, the Saints, the Giants, whatever. Okay. Giants are probably better than the Browns. But anyway, Bobby, if I sign Chubb to that contract, and let's say I give him the ball early on, he does well.
Okay.
Is he a viable trade option? Is he a viable trade chip for a draft pick, as opposed to right now losing him for nothing?
You're not losing him for nothing.
His contract's up.
You do realize how you
realize,
trade him. I know. I'm saying you can trade for something though.
What do you think best case scenario is?
If you give Chubb the ball,
let's say best case.
Okay, best case.
You build the illusion in your mind.
I think you can get. That sounded Copperfield-ish the way you said it, but I think you could get a 3rd-round pick for Chubb at the trade deadline.
You're drunk.
You don't think so?
You're drunk.
A 3rd round, 4th round,
probably
a
not.
pick, 5th round,
probably not. But maybe I don't know. Let's just say in your argument you get a 3rd-round pick.
Okay.
And do you realize how the compensatory draft system works?
Yes, I do know how that works, yes.
So if he goes to Houston and plays well enough that you think you're getting a 3rd-round pick for him here, the Browns will get a 3rd-round compensatory pick back because
I think it'd be 4, wouldn't it? No? Because I'm sorry, I'm not sure on the way the compensatory, I thought it'd be a 4th rounder, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think there's compensatory in the 3rd round.
There's compensatory 3rd round, yes. I guess it depends on how much they go.
How well the guy plays.
And how well he plays, yes.
And how much
right.
you also have lost.
Yeah.
So if he plays that well, you'll get something back anyway.
But let's say he plays that well for your team and your fan base.
I thought you said you were trying to lose games.
I am. Look, if I'm the Browns, I want 1-16. If he plays well, though, doesn't that look like, Shark, are you hurt that Chubb's leaving?
Hurt. I guess no, only because I knew it was going to happen. I mean, it was a foregone
conclusion. When they drafted Judkins, that's when it was over.
Right, we knew it was over then. But I'm saying as a Browns fan, though, when you're talking about a franchise trying to build their fan base rebuild their fan base.
You got to build your franchise. You got to build your team.
You don't think that re-signing Nick Chubb?
I was hurt when Baker Mayfield was let go.
You were hurt when they benched Bernie for Testaverde. You were hurt.
That too.
Okay? You were hurt by that.
Yes.
I think Browns fans are hurt that Chubb's leaving, Bobby. I think they're hurt that he's leaving.
I think people are sad to see him go. It wasn't like he rushed for 1,500 yards last year.
I still don't think you can. I don't think you can build your team based on fan sentiment.
Can't build your team based on fan sentiment.
I don't. I'll go to the Rothman criteria on
That's
this.
a little scary.
I've never got Rothman on anything, but go ahead.
Was his fantasy rule is if I cut this guy, can he come back to haunt me? If I let him go.
Okay.
If you're letting Nick Chubb walk, are you worried that he'll come back to haunt you? And I think the answer on that is no. Could he have one good season? Maybe.
Okay.
Do I think he cracks 1,000 yards? No. So it's not like he's going to be a lead guy somewhere. He's not going to be someone that haunts you. Could he have some success in Houston? Maybe. But I don't think he's going to be their number one guy.
He won't be.
If he plays really well.
He's the number one guy if Mixon gets hurt. Then he becomes the number one guy.
Yeah.
Then it's a great sign for them.
They're also looking for help then if Mixon gets hurt.
Yes, if they do that, yes. And that's I think Chubb, when I look at the Browns have done so much to piss off their fan base with different things they've done. The Deshaun trade is still haunting them, Bobby. And so anything you can do. The Myles Garrett signing, I'm glad they did it. For the Browns fan base,
Myles
it was
Garrett's
great.
Still one of the best defensive players in the NFL.
I'm just saying I think, though, that Chubb, though, bringing him back would have been a good move to endear themselves further to the fan base.
I don't think anybody's going to be endeared because you brought back Nick Chubb.
Do you think? Okay, so Shark, I'll ask you. Going forward,
how many different ways are you going to ask this?
I don't know.
Until I get it right.
I enjoy the creativity of it, though.
Listen, are you going to root for Chubb?
Yes, I told you. Houston's going to be my second favorite team.
You root for Chubb, okay. I would rather see Chubb.
I root for Baker.
Yeah, Baker. That's the other thing, too.
I rooted for Bernie when he was in Miami and Dallas.
Ring
for Dallas.
And Dallas, right?
Took the last snap of the game. A kneel down.
Amazing.
The Super Bowl.
Bernie's got that. Your Browns quarterback. My Browns quarterback. He and Sipe, those are the ones. Danielson and Strock also, by the way. In that 87, is that what the year was? 87, right, Shark?
Was Pagel in there, too?
No. Hell with Pagel.
It was a different year?
Yeah, Pagel's Pagel. Coming up next, Toast Guys Juice, Morning Juice.
My muscles ached. I was tired all the time.
My son had a full-blown asthma attack. It came out of nowhere.
The unsettling thing about some symptoms is
I had a fever and these terrible headaches.
you don't always know what's causing them.
It was Lyme disease from a tick bite.
I had Zika virus from a mosquito.
He had a reaction to cockroach allergens.
Threats to your health can come from unexpected places. Get the facts. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
What's this? A letter from the Selective Service System? Not now. Hey, Steve, it's me, Future Steve. You're me? Yes, and you need to register with SSS or we won't get our dream job in 10 years. Save our future.
If you're a man aged 18 to 25, visit sss.gov to register today. It's required by law, and it can open the door to many benefits, like federal government jobs and training.
That was easy. Thanks, Steve.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun, and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live, for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Dangers rarely lie out in the open, so no matter where you live, it's important to know harmful pests can hide in and around your home.
Here I come!
Rodents and cockroaches are drawn to food waste and garbage.
I know you're out here.
Ticks lurk in tall grasses, and mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water.
I can hear you.
Rodents, ticks, and mosquitoes can all spread dangerous diseases.
I gotcha.
Seek the facts you need at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a common seasonal virus, but it can have major implications on a patient's heart health. Most RSV cases involve mild cold-like symptoms, but up to 160,000 adults are hospitalized each year for more serious cases, and RSV can escalate chronic health issues. If you're over the age of 60, talk to your doctor to find out if the new RSV vaccine is right for you, and learn more at heart.org/RSV.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
They talk, by the way, coming back, Bobby, the thing before that about me begging you to put me on the show with you was about a shark being deadly.
Oh, okay.
And so I just think it's ironic that shark, how vile and how deadly a shark could be, but Tito wants to beg to be on the show. Today's Monday.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, Bobby, it's Monday. I guess it's probably you, right?
Yeah. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Thidoff. That's how it works. That's how it will always work moving forward.
We're going to change it with Shark.
Shark, I'm going to be really disappointed when you're not here anymore because I'm hoping whoever your replacement is someone that provides as much sanity to a conversation as you do.
Come on. Look, that was not that insane, Bobby.
My goodness. We got two good ones here. Gosh, Gosh, it's amazing how loud people talk that it can come through.
Is that through the door there? Is that what we're hearing?
Doors are closed. You can still hear them.
They're not soundproof-ish.
Well, they're soundproof, I guess, enough.
Unless you're on-air light on.
Let's listen to the Chris Williamson and Jocko conversation.
You spent a good bit of your career in situations that would cause most people to feel a ton of fear. I think that fear is related to this confidence, conviction in my decisions. What have you learned about how to deal with and overcome fear?
Go. Yep. It's you when all that fear that's in your head, all the what ifs and the scenarios that you create inside your own mind that are way worse than anything that is actually going to happen, they all disappear when you go. So just take action and start moving forward. That is the moment that can last a million years, is waiting to go. And I found I'm pretty good at it now, where I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is, and I'm going, and then that's it. And once you go, driving, even, speaking of being in combat, if we were driving to a target and so you're going to go hit a target somewhere, and driving to the target, the closer you get, you're thinking about all the things that go wrong, all the bad things that are going to happen, all this stuff. When one of my guys gets wounded, what if they have IEDs in the yard? Like, there's a bunch of things going through your mind. Once you stop, get out of the vehicle, all those things go away. Yep. And you're doing the thing, and you're not worried about it anymore. And so let's just go. That's the answer.
So action is an antidote to anxiety.
Man, action's an antidote to all kinds of problems.
Action's an antidote to a lot of problems. Action kills anxiety. Some good lessons there from Jocko. Over the weekend, got a chance to go down to our place in Portsmouth, did some whitewater rafting on the New River. Our guide, Ray, was awesome. Had a good time again. The boys are great. And I just talking to Ray. Shark, you like this guy. He's 61 years old. I don't think he's ever worked a day in his life because he goes rafting. He's been running this forever. He's been down there at the New River Gorge in the Gully for about the last 35 years. He's getting ready to retire soon, and so I was talking to him about doing some of the tougher stuff, running the Gully with him, potentially in the fall. And I asked him you've been doing this for a long time. Have you seen changes in the type of people that show up here? And we're eating lunch.
Here we go. He doesn't care anymore.
We're eating lunch, and he goes, we don't have enough time to do this right here, but we started getting into a little bit of it. He goes, it was 4 dads and 4 boys. Boys about 11 years old. 11 was my son's 12th birthday. And he was the first to turn, I think. And he goes, your boat will be a top 10 boat for us, for me this year. He goes, I can say that unequivocally. And I'm like, really? He goes, oh, yeah. And it's not even close. And it's just amazing. He's like, the things that we see, and as you see people come down here, everybody played sports, they were competitive, they wanted to have fun. He goes, now, they tell you beforehand. He's like, people think this is some sort of Disney ride that we just get you to the end. He's like, you've got to be the one that paddles. You're the engine. And he's like, we get people coming down here because I'm 61. I'm in pretty decent shape. Because there are these people coming down here that this is bucket list item for them. Like, they're coming down, they haven't done anything in 20 years, and they're in their mid-60s. Not in as good a shape as you, Shark. And he's like, they just want us to get them to the end. I'm like, I'll get you to the end. Might be in a pine box if you're not careful, but it's amazing. It was unreal.
Name's Ray?
His name's Ray.
Do you trust everybody with 2 first names like that? Or do you not?
The guy's so nice they named him twice.
If there's somebody named Ray, do you trust Ray?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and no matter who, like if you go out right now.
Because everybody knows Ray.
Okay, and somebody's like working on your car. My name's Ray. You're trusting that.
Oh, of course.
Is there any first names like that, the double ones, you don't trust? If his name's Jimmy Jim, do you trust Jimmy Jim? Do you trust Jim Jim?
Jim Jim?
Do you trust a Jim Jim?
Depending on how he looked, if he looked like a Jim, my man looks like a Ray.
He looks like a Ray?
He looks like a Ray. It's perfect for him. He's been doing this, and some of it means trust. Well, what am I trusting you to do? That's the other thing.
That's what, like Ray sounds like somebody I trust, probably because of the barbecue sauce. But I'm saying, Ray, though, is somebody I think I would trust. I'm not sure about other first names that duplicate, though. If I would trust that person the same way, I would trust a Ray.
Yeah, that's true. There's only a couple of them I think you can pull it off, but I trust
Jeff.
Ray.
Jeff.
Depends if it's Geoff. That one you don't trust.
But I love Ray. He's awesome, and I'm hoping to get back down there with him again. The boys had an awesome time. It was fun to watch them go because it's not easy, and they were getting gassed. They were a little tired, but we made it through and had an awesome day again. And then also what has me juiced is my third son, Cullen. With his birthday, we raced back up to church on Sunday, and then he made the decision to get baptized, which was awesome. And with that, it was even a little more special because Sean Lane is a pastor at Rock City, and Sean Lane was a former teammate of mine at Ohio State, and he was the one that did it. So pretty cool to kind of see that whole loop be closed right there. That's got me juiced.
Wait, before you go to that, you got emotional there, Bobby.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're not listening, if you're not watching on TV, I think that's interesting. You got emotional there.
It's cool to see. I've had a very blessed life, and things have worked out, and I always try to be appreciative and respectful of that. And faith's a big part of that for me.
Sure.
And the fact that is an element of my son's life now, and the fact of how all of that worked together. And also, a side note, like Sean, he's 2 years younger than me, suffered, what looked like a fairly routine injury, and it's kind of separated his shoulder, got what people refer to as a stinger, and lost, movement of his arm, which happens, and you lose numbness and tingling.
Right.
Well, his never came back.
Okay.
And that was his senior year, and so his right arm is, when he's right-handed, is more or less incapacitated. Oh. And so to see what he has chosen to do with his life has been pretty remarkable as well. So it was an awesome day. It was awesome to see, and I was glad that he was there when he was the one that was able to do it.
That's cool.
So it's very, very special.
Yep.
Shark, what's Slay's got to say?
Damn right I'll eat that cicada for $200. My only stipulation is I pull off the legs and the wings because I don't want those things flaring up as I throw it down my gullet. You know what I'm saying? Proof David Copperfield, wings off, legs off, cicada, Buckeyes. Guess who was $200 richer? This guy.
Mm-hmm. That's a great story. One of these days, Bob will have to retell that story. I was when I was a kid, I'd go to the Ashland High School games on a Friday night, and then the Ashland College games on a Saturday. I used to jump the fence because I didn't have $1 to get in. I waited till the national anthem was played when the police officers had to
they'd take the hat off and stand and watch.
That's when I would jump the fence.
Tommy.
Behind the bleachers.
That is Shark, for all as big a patriot as you are.
I know, Bob, but I didn't have the money.
I know.
So we used to,
American way.
My friends and I, we used to, stand on the track, stand in the end zone during the Ashland College games. It was Ashland College back then. Now it's Ashland University. And my friend said, "I'll give you $0.25 if you go up and kiss one of the Ashland cheerleaders." Oh. I said, I won't do it for $0.25. And the other one said, "All right, I'll give you $0.25. I'll give you $0.25. Went up. I said to the cheerleader, now, mind you, I'm 13 and she's 20. She's 21.
Let's hope.
I said, do you see those guys in the end zone down there? They're going to pay me a total of $1 if I kiss you. Can I kiss you? She said, not on the lips. I said, okay. So I kissed her on the cheek.
Did you give her
got $1? Then another one of my buddies caught a grasshopper. He said, give me $1 if I eat this grasshopper. And we all said, yeah, we'll each give you $0.25. And he took out his lighter. Why does a 13-year-old have a lighter? Well, that's what we did back then.
Smoking cigs.
You and Opie.
And he cooked this grasshopper, and then he swallowed it.
Wow. Schleg's ate his raw.
For $1. Schleg's made $200. Yeah. My friend Brad Fast made $1 for eating a grasshopper.
And you kissed a woman in college.
I kissed a girl, a cheerleader.
Also.
I did.
Did you pick the prettiest one?
I don't remember,
I'm guessing
but
no.
She did ask for my phone number.
Of course she did.
Just kidding. Trivia question, because I ran across this morning. 4 quarterbacks in NFL history have beaten all 32 teams.
All 32,
All
Bobby.
32. Yep. Now, keep in mind,
Tom Brady's one of them.
Until Carolina and Jacksonville
And
game.
then Texans.
So it's only been in the last 20 years that we've had 32 teams.
I know the answer.
I know
Bobby,
you
what
do.
got?
I'm going to ask Bob.
I think Tom Brady.
Yes.
Brady's
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Drew Brees.
Yes.
That's one good. Yeah.
Fitzpatrick.
Nope.
The reason it brings it up, Rodgers in Week 8 can become the fifth
to be able to do this.
Right.
Is the third player a Hall of? Is the last one a Hall of? He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep. All four of them are Hall of Famers.
Okay.
I don't know. Is Breeze in yet?
Not yet.
He's
They
not.
will. Yeah, they will.
Breeze will be
They're
in the Hall
all
of Fame.
presumptive Hall
Breeze,
of
Manning,
Famers.
Brady.
This
all Hall
was
of
the
Famers.
first guy to do it.
The first
Okay.
Favre.
Brett Favre.
There you go.
Good job,
Bobby. Good for you.
Yeah. So really, Rodgers has one shot at this.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
not going to face
He's
the
not,
Packers
no.
again.
No, Week 8.
So,
That's what it is. Week 8 for him.
Yeah. Tito, what has you juiced?
Sammy Sass has me juiced. Sammy Sass played for UA baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I've known his dad for years. Played for UA, went to Wright
Feel
State.
bad for his dad.
Okay, so and Sammy had like a 4 home run game, I think it was, maybe 3 or 4 home run game at Wright State his senior year. Went undrafted, but he is now signed. He graduated in 19 from UA, so 24 Wright State, but the Myrtle Beach Pelicans have signed him. It's a Cubs affiliate, single A. What we're excited about is, first of all, great for Sammy, great for the family. And there's another kid, Ethan Hammerberg, also Bobby played in UA. He was a pitcher, went to Ohio State, and he is with, I think, Kannapolis, but he's still coming back from a Tommy John surgery. But I talked to his dad. He's throwing like 96 now. So I might get to, I don't say witness, follow a game where Hammerberg pitches to Sass, which I could not wait to see.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's got me juiced. Great weekend this was swimming for my daughter at Gahanna this weekend. She
Nice.
had 3 days, 6 events total, and she did well. The outdoor stuff is always different. You get slower times, but I've loved that. Loved watching her and watching her compete and going against girls. And Bobby, you know this because Caleb's like racing guys that are 2 years older than him, right?
Yeah.
It's like 2 years. And Charlotte was going with somebody who was a year older, a couple people a year older than her, and she did well, which I was excited about that. But so that's got me juiced. And can't wait for this week. And I know that she's got a BG event coming up, Bowling Green coming up here in a couple weeks. She's got a camp coming up where it's going to be overnight, which will be weird for me as a parent. But she's got like a 3-day camp, I think at Kenyon. Kenyon's always really good at swimming, right, Shark?
Yes.
That's the
National
one.
champs.
Yes, all the time.
Very
So-
expensive to go there. I think it's the most expensive school in Ohio.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I had a grad party I went to on Saturday. And it's amazing how many kids are going to OU. You know, it's like, there's,
Oh, yeah.
and
OU,
Biddle's
oh,
kid.
yeah.
Biddle's kid. Biddle had his graduation party for his daughter on Saturday. Also, she's going to OU, but like my stepdaughter went to OU. All these kids go to OU. So anyway, that's got
Well,
me
I think
excited.
parents want their kids to go there because there's no partying in Athens.
Right. There's nothing going on there. It's a very
It's not as good as it used to be, though.
I
And
don't,
think that
Bobby,
might
we're
be
not gonna-
generationally.
Did you go
Generational
there?
thing. I went there a lot. I never didn't go to school.
I know
there,
you didn't
but
go to school there.
I went to
Bobby.
6 straight Halloweens.
went
Did
to
you really?
OSU.
6
Oh, yeah.
straight?
Yeah.
Wait.
Sophomore year to junior year here.
Okay. What were the other 3?
Sophomore
Sophomore
year,
year,
junior
high
year,
school.
Sophomore in high school?
and then freshman, sophomore, junior year.
You didn't drink in high school, did you?
Okay, that's it. No.
The statute of
We're
limitations
not going
are
to
over
vacate
on
any
that.
more wins. I don't want to vacate
I'll
wins.
tell people how I live my life, and they can tell me whether I'm right, wrong, or whatever it was. But I mean, I grew up in Lancaster, Ohio. There wasn't anything else to do. I had good grades. I took care of stuff. I tried to be responsible. But yeah, I mean, we drink cold beer in high school.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't vacate wins. I don't know
Vacate
how we
anything.
can do it, but I'm saying don't do it. All right. We'll talk tomorrow. Morning Juice.
Okay, let's go. Top row.
EYECARE?
Good. Next row.
AM America? iCareAmerica.org?
Yes. Eye Care America helps seniors who haven't had a medical eye exam in 3 or more years. They also help those with an increased risk for glaucoma, and the appointment is often free or at no out-of-pocket cost. It's easy to see if you qualify. Go to EYECareAmerica.org.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
As we wonder why our kids are struggling, someone is getting bullied. As we discuss how to improve their mental health, someone is being harassed on social media. As we wonder why they're skipping school, someone is crying themselves to sleep. Knowing the signs is the best way to prevent bullying.
Please just leave me alone.
Learn the signs at sandyhookpromise.org.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/.